At the end of the day, we are science-based and results-driven aesthetics. So we're a full-service medispa. We're located right in the heart of Lebanon. And when we say that, we really mean that. We really feel like we are a part of that heartbeat of a local and loved community.
Welcome back to the Paper Trail. We are so excited today to have a special guest with us today. She is the founder of the Skin Lab, Nikki Green, and she blends science, artistry, and her heart all into helping patients shine. So welcome to the Paper Trail.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm so glad you're here today. I have been one of your patients the last couple years, and I can remember the first time I came to your, you call it,
it's our practice.
But you also say in the treatment room.
That's right.
Yeah, in the treatment room. So when I visited for the first time, I've had facials, in my past. I definitely have not had them regularly.
Right.
So one of the things I was excited to do when we started, I started coming to you and we started working together was I just loved your education behind what you do. It is really, there is a lot of science to it that I think most women don't really realize, or you see skincare all the time and, you're thinking, oh, this looks good. This looks like it could fix me, but you don't really know the chemicals involved or what's in the product, or you just see something cute and fun and you want to try it. So I loved your research and how you treated me and just the beauty of the space, the calmness of the space. Yeah. I feel like every time I come to you, I say this couldn't come at a better day.
Yes.
Because I'm always going and stressed and maxed out, as we all are, dealing with life. And so when I lay down, I'm just like, oh my gosh, thank you for this moment with you, because it feels so good. And then I come out feeling better and looking better. So thank you for that.
Love that.
So let's just dive right in. I've got several things I want people to know. Like I said, I've been with you a couple of years, but and we've done a couple stories on you, but I want folks to know more about who you are, what you got going on, and then what they can expect at the Skin Lab.
I love that.
So the first one, I kind of want to just know, who is the Skin Lab? What if somebody was like, what is the Skin Lab? What would you say?
Well, at the end of the day, we are science-based and results-driven aesthetics. So we're a full-service medispa. We're located right in the heart of Lebanon. And when we say that, we really mean that. We really feel like we are a part of that heartbeat of a local and loved community. A community, admittedly, that used to be small and is much larger now. But we feel confident that we're a large part of that as well. We know that you easily can traverse into the greater Nashville area and get some really beautiful services. But at the end of the day, you actually don't have to leave this really beautiful community to get that top tier and really superior option when it comes to aesthetics and professional skincare.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we preach here is just stay local, and that we don't have to go to Nashville. These hidden jewels are right here. There's so many services, amongst just ourselves. So
I agree.
Thankful for that. So that was really good to hear. And I've been, like I said, going and enjoy it. I love that you guys are located centrally in the city. It's really easy to get in and out. I just always enjoy the ease of it. So that's good. So tell us some of the services that you offer.
Well, we have a wide service catalog outside of just your regular facial series, house types of facials. We really like to delve into more of the science-based initiatives. I will say there is a number of establishments that would find themselves to be comparable or similar to us in their values, but we are not that fluffy facial house. We will give you a very luxurious facial, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, we are doing progressive changes to skin, brows, and lashes each and every session that we provide. So all of these are going to be science-based initiatives. In fact, our most newest one that we've offered is going to be our cellular renewal therapy. And it's a mouthful because it is just a boatload of really good stuff inside of it. At the end of the day, it is a major anti-aging component. It's done so with growth factor. Outside of that, it also is going to be dealing with exosome. If you're not familiar with what some of these terminologies mean, the real simplified version is it is a major anti-ager, and it works not on the topical, so not just your first layer of skin, which is known as the epidermis. Instead, it's working very, very deeply past each of those dermal layers, past stratum corneum, and then into the think tank, or the mitochondria of the cell inside your DNA. So it is a very deep procedure in the sense of getting to the causation or the root triggers of aging deficit, and then really correcting it from that internal piece and then outward towards that epidermis that we can see with the naked eye. So a lot of science behind it.
And every time I hear you, like the whole time I'm laying there, I'm like, she is like a straight scientist. Like, I've never even heard of some of these words.
Right.
Like, and I'm like, they're huge. I don't even know how you can say it, much less, remember it. But one of my favorite treatments that I've had, like I said, I've been coming monthly for the last 2 years. Absolutely love it. I've seen huge progress in my skin.
Yes.
I have what I like to call chicken skin. It's awful. It is porous. It is like, I don't know. It's not my ideal skin.
Sure.
I'm very, very fair. I say my skin is mayonnaise. I'm very fair. I do have a lot of redness and a lot of, almost like rosacea tendencies on the minor scale. I have sensitive skin. I have dry skin. I have all the things. So, I think one of the things that you've taught me is just the consistency pays out.
Yes.
The products pay out, the better quality products pay out. And I have been really diving into that for the last few years. But also, one of my favorite treatments that I just had a few months back, a series of 3 months, was the microneedling with radiofrequency.
That's right.
I remembered it. So, so with that, kind of explain that service, because I will say, and I'm going to speak to the ladies real quick on this one, even men, because I'm sure some men get it too. But like, I've always heard, oh my gosh, microneedling. Well, needles don't scare me. I have a super pain tolerance, so that part didn't scare me. It was just, am I going to come out of here looking like my face has been run over and I can't do business the next 2 days because I've got meetings, I've got, things I got to be at. And I was afraid of looking sunburnt and road rash.
Yes.
Like I'd been drugged behind a car, maybe. And so I was like, what is this going to do to my face? What's the downtime on it? But you do numb your face, which was great. I will say nobody likes to be numb. I know it's like even going to the dentist. I hated, being numb, but really the pain was not that bad at all, especially the second and the third one I say was even better.
That's right.
And the results were huge and the downtime was very minimal.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit of that technology behind that.
Of course. So microneedling with radiofrequency, you put your scientific hat on and you got that right for sure. The series of 3 really aided us in the opportunity for progression of skin. So we saw a really deep correction of your loss of laxity or your chicken skin that you referred to. We also were able to note your reduction in fine line and wrinkle as well as static wrinkle. So your aging deficit that happens normally every 6 months to a year as we mature, and an all-over resurface as well as an all-over youthfulization of skin. So that imagery really of a more youthful, perfected skin. As you noted, the skin acclimates through series 1, then 2, and then up to 3, and in some cases more, but in your case 3. So we feel as though we acclimate to it each time we work together. So we're building or stacking upon the work we've done previous. So it doesn't quite have that same uncomfortable note that it might have in number 1 in subsequent numbers 2 and 3. You touched a little bit on how you were numb, and that's absolutely true. We topically analgesize the skin. We make sure that you're your most comfortable all throughout that service. There's just no reason to be uncomfortable. If you're in a clinic that has a medical director, then you have full carte blanche to have everything that you need. And of course we do.
It's very comfortable.
We agree. And we like to keep it that way for everybody. There's no reason to have to be apprehensive ahead of a service. In fact, you should be fully informed, micro-educated, and super easy peasy about everything from start to finish. And that's what we like to do.
And I do love that because you share exactly what to expect the whole way through. And right before you do something, you tell me, okay, I'm about to do this. This is what it's going to feel like. This is what it should feel like. And then are you feeling anything different? Let me know. So it's for anybody that's scared, anybody that's worried about it, I would highly recommend it. And you do get great results, as well as, it's not that bad, and she's gonna walk you through the whole thing, and you're gonna be like, okay, when can I come back? So I'm already looking forward to doing another series of it, so I can't wait for that. So what about, so I know like you love your patients, you love your job.
Yes.
Tell me what you love most about your job and what it brings, like the kind of joys and stuff that come from this job.
You know, I will tell you, the reason that I got into the industry of aesthetics was, number one, I really love all things beauty. I feel like if you know me well, then you already know. I really love all the things that help you feel really positive, really confident, and just shoulders back and head high. If you put your best foot forward always, you'll find likely there's a positive outcome. And I feel like females come to see me day in and day out, and life just weighs on them heavily, whether it's being 10 out of 10 mother, 10 out of 10 wife, 10 out of 10 supervisor, like whatever hat they're wearing, and a lot of times it's multiple hats. For sure. They are trying to be a 10 out of 10 each and every time. And I mean, if you think about it, we all have our own gas tank to fill. And if we're trying to be 10 out of 10 in that gas tank, if we're giving it to each person and each avenue, we really a little bit get down to the low part of our own tank. And so we need a boost of confidence every now and again. As you spoke about in the beginning, you know, your chicken skin or your mayonnaise skin, I don't see those things.
Well, thank you.
I see just beauty from the inside, and I see it just kind of come out and exude to the outside. And I can see it from a mile away from you, but from so many of our friends and patients. I would call it discernment, but I just can see that from a mile away. And I want to match the internal beauty with the external beauty. So if I have a doll that comes in to see me and her shoulders are down and her head is maybe down, she's not as confident as she should be walking through life. I'm going to do my absolute 10 out of 10 best every time to ensure that we change the outward beauty for her so that in turn it matches her internal beauty. And then she can see it with her own eyes, because we are our own harshest critic. So we need to let others really take care of us. And so that's exactly what we try to do.
That's awesome. Well, I don't know if your ears were burning this morning, but this morning I was having coffee with a couple other colleagues, and we were discussing how right now it's really hard. We had a gal with us that was young and looking into a career. And her career was not in your field. However, this all kind of made me think of you. As you and I have talked about this, but how so many fields now, you know, I'm going to call them kids, but they're early, you know, right out of school, right out of college. They're looking for experience and looking for jobs. They have diplomas, but they don't have experience on the street or out in the world or in the field yet. And so, you know, one of the things I was hearing from this girl was, you know, she was in that same boat. And I said, well, you know, that I've heard that. And I've actually heard it. I said, a friend of mine has the Skin Lab, and she has created this incredible program for that exact reason, because she was seeing, you know, in the aesthetics world that you'd get the degree or you'd get the, you know, college certificate for your program. And then you go to apply for that job, and they're like, well, you haven't touched any faces, you know, or you haven't done this yet. So what experience do you have? Well, I don't. Well, we're not going to hire you. So you created this incredible internship program that we've talked about it in our magazine. We've loved hearing about it. I love that you advocate women and carry them forward and move them into that next level. So tell us about that.
I would love to. So of course we offer what's known as the Skin Labs internship program. It is some parts internship and some parts mentorship, and both really are so important and so needed. As you say, we advocate for females often. And of course, I'm a female myself, and so that just rings true to me. I did not have what you would call, I did have a mentor. Let me step back. I did have a mentor in aesthetics, but I did not have somebody right by my side that was going to help me to walk through each step and know how to navigate it easily. So there were several hiccups in life, as there are for anybody, that I had to navigate through. And so what we try to do is really minimize those hiccups for the next, you know, crop of females coming through aesthetics in general. So we brought this program in and debuted in 2022, and it has really just grown leaps and bounds with every 6 months to a year that it's been in place. What we like to focus on is what's pulling behind the curtain and seeing what's truly happening in a medical aesthetics space. It's very different than what you can kind of just learn in the book or online or something like that. So we do take into account when young ladies are in aesthetic school, you know, in real time, whether they have graduated already, and letting this be a milestone or a stepping stone for them. But we also do not just focus only on the young lady in aesthetic school. In fact, there's been several opportunities for young ladies to come and see us. One most recently, she had a degree in biology and chemistry, and she was looking to step forward into actually creating skincare in the future.
Wow. Okay.
So a whole new step for her. And so she wanted to have a gauge on what is the aesthetic industry in general. So she went through our program and mentorship for that. We've also had secondary scenarios where we've had either LPNs or RNs that have reached those degree points, but have decided to go in more of an aesthetic, juncture or avenue, maybe injection or something like that. And so they've gone through our program as, again, a stepping stone of sorts. So it doesn't always have to be that cookie cutter, just esthetician. It can be some things that are similar or near. In fact, we really try to give good mentorship on not only how to be the professional medical esthetician, but how to marry what we call the bedside manner with the skill set. Because as you know, we as medical estheticians can be a dime a dozen. This is a fairly saturated industry nowadays. Side note, when I became an esthetician 1,000 years ago, people didn't even know what that word was. And so it's very different now than it used to be. And so with that being said, we want to set ourselves apart from some of the others generically. And we do that by really polishing every focus there. And furthered education, new certifications, learning the theory of things more in depth, and just getting that hands-on shadowing and experience.
I know you've had some girls in in my days that I've been in my sessions. You've had some shadows, and that's been good. So I think it's really great that you're doing that, and it's a great opportunity for locals and not locals. That, like you said, people that could even be in nearby cities that don't have this opportunity. So we love sharing that and love hearing about it. So thanks for telling us more about it. I think people will be interested, and they might have students or family members that are interested. So that's a good kind of a note. So if somebody wants to find you, find out about the internship, get services, come to see you, where and how can they do that?
So we are located in the heart of Lebanon. We're at 706 Cadet Court, which is actually a very historic part of Lebanon. It's where the military barracks were, the military school years ago. It's very beautifully groomed, just a really beautiful area.
Right beside Sammy B's.
Right beside Sammy B's. That's right, on Castle Heights. With that being said, we are open Monday through Friday and half days on Saturdays. We try to be flexible for everybody's hours. We even see some patients after the dedicated business hour for those ladies that are kind of traveling in from the greater Nashville area from their job or something like that. So we do try to be really all-encompassing of the schedule there. But people can visit our website. It's www.lovetheskinlab.com. You can see all of our catalog services. You can see an image of what a representation of that looks like and a full detailed archive of exactly what is going to be taking place when you have that type of service done. From there, you actually can read more about our internship program, reselling opportunities. We do have private label items that lots of boutiques and other, salons or spas carry of ours. And so if you want to become a reseller of ours as well, that's another opportunity.
That's awesome.
You can learn all about our team of dedicated medical estheticians on our website, but it's a great way to figure out a little more about us and then also how to book with us easily.
And the other thing that some of you may not know is she also carries a great line of perfumes, mascaras.
That's
You've
right.
got eyelash services.
That's right.
You do guest speaking.
Absolutely.
You have self-tanning. We just put your self-tanner in our fall box and, or actually our summer box, sorry. And it's wonderful. I've used it. It's a great product. It's beautiful.
We love
and
it.
Very natural looking.
Yes.
So that's a plus that you've got. And you've just got so many other things, outside of just your traditional facials and things. So definitely check them out. And you do guest speaking as well. So you can be booked for that.
Absolutely.
So that's an opportunity too. If anybody has needs or wants in any of those categories, check her out.
Yeah,
so
for
thank
sure.
you for coming today.
Absolutely.
We have just been so glad to have you. And I hope that this has been great for you and able, to share some of your services with our people. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So continue to follow us on the paper trail and go see Miss Nikki and her team. They are beautiful. They are wonderful, and they will make you feel great.
Absolutely.
So we will see you the next time. Thank you.